So we understand a little bit about what your problems were. Wanting to go to an analytics partner, why did you ultimately choose NarrativeWave?
Yeah, it really comes down to two things. It's the ability to handle those edge cases and really treat every project as kind of unique. And then the second piece of that is we didn't want a platform that would replace our operations engineers and performance engineers. We wanted a platform and experts in data science that would leverage our own expertise, right? A lot of these platforms, you know, kind of put the data science first, but forget about the platform expertise. You know, an example is did some old pilots back in the day with some data science folks, and it just brilliant data scientists, but took a lot to explain that the reason why this status code is a predictor of a gearbox failure is because this is the code that comes up when the turbine's offline after the gearbox fails. So just stuff like that. So we really we wanted to put kind of the operational expertise, keep our performance engineers, our ops engineers as experts, but then build on their expertise by leveraging a platform like NarrativeWave versus. It's a little bit of nuance, but versus putting the data science first. And then also the other piece of this is really kind of making the data analysis actionable, and it's as simple as being able to track all the events, calculate lost energy, prioritize, visualize, and there's no one great way to do that. And NarrativeWave provides us that flexibility to find that optimum way that works for us or works best for each of our project and each of the people that are actually using the data.
Yeah, that's really good insight, and I love it because we really take our role seriously in terms of being a force multiplier and not, we want to be part of your team. We want to collaborate together. We want to take your expertise and we want to help you scale that. And it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't take the place of your team. It actually makes your team more robust because we become an integrated part of that team and we take that role seriously. And I like that you mentioned that it becomes that NarrativeWave really focuses on the actionable outcome because we value that we are an end-to-end solution. Our goal is not to just present you with problems and say, okay, figure it out. Our goal is to take you from the beginning of, hey, recognize that there's an issue and how do we get all the way to issue resolution, which really lends to ROI and seeing that those actionable outcomes translate to energy creation and more money at the end of the day. So thank you so much for those.
Yeah, Shelly, if I could just jump off that for a second in terms of the choice, because we thought long and hard about this. We looked at a lot of different solutions. And I will say the thing that jumps out for me was, and you said part of it, kind of end to end, and I kind of see it as end to end partner, right? Not just end to end solution, because we've definitely worked with lots of folks who kind of where you get to is, hey, here are all these megawatt hours that you guys are losing. And like, that's the end. That's it, right? You're losing a bunch of megawatt hours. Whereas what we found with NarrativeWave as we work together is you actually own with us all the way to actually saving those megawatt hours, right? And take it all the way to action. And if that action, even if it's something as mundane of the issue is not the fact that there's something happening wrong with this particular turbine or this particular BESS system, the issue is that now that you know that that's happening, how are you communicating it and tracking it through correction with the counterparty who can actually fix the problem? And I feel like, although that sounds mundane, there's a large gap, at least what we've seen with working with other partners, from the time of what's going on, but actually getting it in a repeatable way fixed actually becomes a big part of the problem. And otherwise, you just have a long list of stuff that nobody takes action on. So we really appreciate that the narrative wave rolled up their sleeves, worked with us, said, what's the obstacle? We've seen this. Now, why haven't we fixed it? And just kind of continuing to work your way down to now it's fixed. Like that's the secret sauce.